students. Today we are going to learn about the blood clots and blood group. So what is the blood clot? A blood clot is a clump of a blood that has a change from the liquid to a gel-like or a semi-solid stage. Blood clot, that means the changes in the blood in the form of gel or in the semi-solid stage. Clotting is necessary process that can prevent you from losing too much blood in the certain instance, such as when you are injured or cut. When you are injured, the blood clotting processes start, which prevent the too much loss of a blood. Now, types of blood clot. Your circulatory system is made up of vessels called veins and arteries, which transport the blood throughout your body. Blood clot can form in the veins and the arteries. As we know, in our body there are veins and arteries, which transport the blood throughout the body. So the first type is when a blood clot occurs in the artery. It's called arterial clot. This type of clot causes symptoms immediately and require emergency treatment. The clot which is present in the artery, it's called arterial clot, and it's require emergency treatment. And the symptoms are severe pain, paralysis of the parts of the body. Paralysis, that means the parts which are paralyzed is not able to do movement. It can lead to heart attack or a stroke. And the severe complication of the arterial clot is heart attack and stroke. Now the second type is a venous clot. The blood clot which is occur in the vein or present in the vein, it's called venous clot. This type of clots may be build up more slowly over time, but they can still be life threatening. The most serious type of venous clot is called deep vein thrombosis. The deep vein thrombosis is the clot formation within the vein, which is slowly over a time. So these are the two types of the clot, arterial and the venous clot. Now we will see about the blood group. A blood group is also called blood type. Blood group, other name is blood type. Classification of blood is based on the presence and absence of antigenic substance on the surface of RBC. So now you have doubt that what is antigen. So antigen is a toxic or other foreign substance which induces an immune response in the body, especially the production of antibodies. The example of antigens are bacteria, fungi, parasites, and virus and other chemicals. So antigen is a foreign substance which is bacteria, then parasites and virus. So this type of foreign substance when enter in our body, our body immune response produce the antibodies. So antigen is one type of dangerous substance for our body, and for protection, our body produce antibody. So antibody is a protein produced by our body immune system when it's detect harmful substance called antigen. For example, when the antigen is entered in our body immune response produce the antibody and provide protection against disease. Now we will see about the ABO blood group system. So the ABO blood group system is the most important system in the blood transfusion. It's also seen in other animals. Determination of ABO blood group depends upon the immunological reaction between the antigen and antibody. So this group depends upon the reaction which is present between the antigen and antibody, right? So ABO basis, based on the presence and absence of the antigen and antibody, blood is divided into four groups. As we know, the blood groups are A, B, AB, and O, right? So these are the four groups of blood. Blood having antigen A belongs to A group. This this blood has B antibody in the serum. So uh, group A is having antigen A and antibody B, right? And blood with the antigen B and antibody A, it's called B group, right? Then if both antigen are present, blood group is called AB. AB, that means both antigen is present but antibody is absent, right? And in O group, antigens are absent but A and B antibodies are present, right? So here table is there. You can easily understand by this is that A group having the antigen A and antigen missing is B, so antibody is anti-B. And group B, the antigen is B, so antigen, so antibody is A. In a O, there is no antigen, so the antibody is anti-A and B. And in AB, the antigen is A and B, but the antibody is not present, right? Now, blood transfusion. Blood transfusion is the IV administration of whole blood or its components such as plasma, packed red blood cells or platelets to the patient. Blood transfusion is the transfer of the blood from one person to another person, right? Through IV. IV, that means intravenous administration. We give transfusion in the patient who has anemia or any other disease condition, right? Then purpose to increase the circulating blood volume, right? To increase the blood volume, we have to provide the blood transfusion. The patient who has a not proper blood volume, we have to provide the blood transfusion. Now, to increase the RBC and to maintain the hemoglobin level, the patient who is suffering from severe anemia, we have to provide the we have to provide the blood, right? So it automatically it's increase the RBC and hemoglobin to provide the plasma clotting factor to help in controlling bleeding. For example, any person is not having proper plasma clotting factor in the blood, so we have to provide that plasma clotting factor by providing the blood transfusion. Now, to combat the infection due to the decrease or defective white cells or antibody, right? uh, when the white blood cells or antibody are absent in some patient, we have to provide the blood transfusion, right? So the patient having the proper white blood cells. Now, indications. Indication, that means when we provide blood transfusion. So when the surgery, trauma, hemorrhage, severe anemia, as I told you, then when the WBC count was not proper, then when the bone marrow does not produce enough WBC, RBC, all the cells, we have to provide the blood transfusion. Now, blood group and the respective agent. Okay, as we know, the group O is universal donor. The person having the O group, O blood group, then that person is provide their blood to all the people. And group AB is universal recipient. Okay, then pre-transfusion assessment. There are some things which we have to assess before the transfusion of the blood. So that is what we have to assess. We have to assess the patient history, then number of pregnancy if women have, right? Then any health problem, then any cardiac, pulmonary or vascular disease. We have to check that any disease is there, right? Then we have to assess the vital signs. Then we have to assess the auscultation, that means we have to check the sounds, right? Sounds of the lungs. Then we have to check the muscles, edema, jugular vein distension, that means it's occur when the increased pressure of superior vena cava cause the bulk in the jugular vein. It's called jugular vein distension. Now the skin rashes, then ecchymosis, that means discoloration of skin, then jaundice was there. We have to check that all the things, right? Then we have to teach the patient about the sign and symptoms of adverse reaction, right? You can see this type of reaction seen, right? Red spots, right? Then clotting of the blood. Now the selection of donor. How we select the person who give the blood, right? Who are able to give the blood. So should not be suffering from any illness, right? The person who are going to donate the blood uh, will have no any illness, right? Should not have donated blood within previous 3 months, right? Then should be healthy and age group must be 18 to 65 years. Then not be pregnant. Then HP level is above 12%. right? Then normal vital signs. Now the preparation of recipient, that means how we prepare the patient who are undergoing blood transfusion. So we have to explain the procedure to the patient as well as the family member, right? Then ask whether he or she has undergone the prior transfusion. We have to ask them whether you take a blood transfusion earlier, right? Then we have to provide the comfortable position. Then check the and record the vital signs of the patients, right? Then offer a paid pump before starting the procedure. So if a patient want to void, then we have to provide the paid pump. Then educate the patients about the adverse reaction and report immediately, right? And ask them if any reaction will be there, then you have to report immediately. Then preparation of articles, a tray. A tray containing the blood transfusion set, a Macintosh and a towel, then cotton swab, then tape, adhesive tape, then gloves, kidney tray, IV stand, normal saline, paper bag, blood or any if it's component, right? So all the basic things which we have to prepare, right? Then procedure. In that watch and wear gloves, perform the vein puncture by selecting a large vein, then check the blood to be transfuted for the group. So we have to cross check, right? That expiry date, then RS type, then blood to be transfuted for the group, then any abnormal color will be there, then cloudiness is there, then any clot is there, then air is there, right? So we have to check that, and it is very important, right? Then open the packing of the blood transfusion set, then insert the infusion set, then check the needle and solution of previous IV infusion whether they are appropriate for administrating blood, and we have to take the needle number 18 and 19, right, and proper NS solution, right. Then put the pressure by placing the turbinate 10 to 12 centimeter above the insertion site. Clean the insertion site with the iodine or spirit, then insert the needle and start the NS. Now, firstly, identify the blood product and the patient truly, right? Then for the first 15 minutes, it just flow at 2 ml per minute and remain with the patient. If any reaction is there, then notify the physician. Monitor the vital signs every 5 minutes, right? Then observe for any itching, dyspnea, rashes, right? Then infuse the infusion rate should be set as per the physician order. Remove gloves, faucet, record with the date, time, blood group, all the record and report, right? Now, the what is the responsibility of nurse during the blood transfusion? So the nurse is responsible for safely and effectively administration, right? Then legal nurse must have a knowledge about the blood transfusion and should do the through assessment of the patient, right? Then physical condition, medical history, allergy, and dietary pattern should be known by the nurse. So all the basic information about the patient is must be known by the nurse. Now, nurse should have a knowledge about the calculation of flow rate and methodical approach. The nurse should apply physiological, anatomical, and aseptic principles. Nurse should have a vigilant observation throughout the procedure, so prevent any adverse reaction. Right?